Good morning, all. I, Dr. Smita Nande, welcome you all with pleasure to the second day of IEEE Pune Con 2025 on behalf of International Institute of Information Technology and IEEE. We are happy to have our keynote speaker, Mr. Satya Veerapaneni. Mr. Satya Veerapaneni has completed his bachelor's in computer science from JNTU, India, and master's from the University of Ulster, UK, in computer and intelligent system. He has worked with various organizations such as TerraCloud TX, Emites Technologies, and Trident Software, Accenture, and Dazzler Computer Services. His core contribution is in automating EDI workflows, optimizing ETI processes, and developing analytical platforms for multi-facility healthcare networks. Today, we'll be delivering keynote on responsible AI, designing intelligence with ethics and empathy. We all are eager to hear him for the enlighten us on this topic. So I request you, sir, to take a charge and please start your session. Over to you, sir.
Hi, hi.
Yes,
Thank you, Smita. Thanks for the introduction.
yes,
And good morning, everyone. It's genuine pleasure to be part of this IEEE International Conference on Information Implementation and Innovation Technology of 2025. Uh, Today, I would like to share some of the thoughts uh, about the responsible AI, how it was changing the fact that we see our day-to-day activities and from our health sector and how it was shaping out the vehicles that you drove on day-to-day basis. It is more like no longer a distinct concept that we were taught a decade ago in our uh, thesis or wherever the professors used to talk about the AIs and in the classes and more of that. But in today, all the presentations that you are doing, even part of it are AI driven, and beyond that, it's reshaping everything that we look at. And you could only imagine how it can go from hereafter, like with the matter of few years, probably it would the things that we take it for granted would be definitely showcases the way in a different aspect together. Okay, when it comes to the responsible AI, why does it matter? We were looking in. I just want to go over how we can be part of utilizing the technology that it is shaping us and drive forward the way we want to for the future generations. Okay, responsible UI is refers to a practice of designing, developing, and integrating the AI systems within our lives in the most humanly possible way. Uh, and the AI influences decision making in areas like healthcare, hiring, and even criminal justice across US, at least at this point of time, which would also be having a global impact throughout countries. Okay, and the need for responsible AI is it's already there, and there are scholars that were going in and thinking of how the AI is going to change, whether it's good or bad, and they want to look at the AI in bringing the way it can develop our day-to-day lives. At the same time, it has to fill the ethical gaps in the current systems that we face in our day-to-day aspects. So when it comes to the AI, it's more about a fairness, like eliminate biases and ensure equality across user groups, and more transparency uh, towards making decisions, and the accountability, like who is responsible with the AI and who is coding it out, and the data that we are sharing across the AI, the privacy concerns that we may have, and the security of the data, and also the empathy aspect of it, like understanding the humanly possible way of explaining the situation rather than cutthroat responses for every solution that we throw at. Like if we put a question, it would probably get the response in a way that it's just a responding emotion to you, rather than a humanly possible tone where you get the situation understanding of what's happening with your day-to-day activities, and respond the way that you would probably expect from a human being rather than a third person computer. So when it comes to the past few couple of years, even though if it was in the couple of years, and as I said, the AI was majorly developed by these institutions and the people behind those developing the systems. So within the short span, we were seeing how it was coded, and how it was making decisions uh, in the way that they want us to control. So back in 2018, there was a report where the Amazon resume screenings was happening. Uh, the the tool, without knowing, it was favoring the male candidates because it was trained in historical resumes pattern, which in the past decades, if you see, it's mostly male dominant in the past. Now it was changing, and the women part of the world is coming more ahead than what it was in the past. But AI, with the data that was provided, it was most likely inclined towards the picking up the resumes from the male. And also racial disparities in facial recognition. And there is one more research happened where it was had error rates of 35 of percent of the dark skin women when it compared to 1% of the light skinned men. So these are the studies that happened and already being at the question of where this AI is driving, even though it doesn't have any humanly attributes to it to bias people on based on certain things. But then again, the question comes back to who is controlling this AI, how they are controlling it, and how they are training it. So there are few examples that I can list off, but the core concept of it is like to making it understand the world and do better for the human society rather than just a narrative of someone's writing the code. Um, yes, as I was saying, building empathy into the AI is more needed than ever. It like user feedbacks and real world scenarios should be taken in consideration when the coding was happened, and involve people from different backgrounds during the development. And the testing should also be a vigorous process where it should uh, go in a rare and sensitive cases. Okay. When it comes to the regulatory and ethical frameworks, a EU Act is already in place, and there are few other acts which is trying to control the way one has to code this one. But the acts can only be enforced when the people who are willing to do more than and beyond what were the need for the control of these particular AIs. And AI systems must be monitored over time for bias and misuse of the power that they possess. Okay, when it comes to the strategies and practitioners, there were tools like SHAP and LIME, which are mostly like based on cooperative game theory. So the SHAP is most likely like explains how the each feature contributes to the prediction of each individual instances. Like the core strengths of these models are like consistent and theoretical grounded, and works well within the tree-based models like XGBoost and Light BGMs. And use cases, understanding why a patient was flagged as a high risk for a condition. Like in the healthcare, if you take there is a conditions where you should flag certain patients based on the high risk, low risk, and other features. And it also varies on the features like age, medication bias, and influenced. These are the decision making conditions where one should be cautious on taking those particular actions. And coming to the Lime, it is also more of a model-based specific. It helps towards the model-based specific predictions. And when it comes to the strengths of Lime, it it works across a black box model, great with NLPs and tabular images models. It explain the image was classified as defective in cases, detect was classification model. So there were demographic groups and represented in training data which should be taken care when it comes to understanding the strategies that goes beyond just setting an act to say the thumb rules. And so the call for action is like responsible AI is shared responsibility. It's not one's coding ability to integrate these models into the acts. It's a responsibility across everyone to take fairness reviews of inclusive testings and guidelines. So yeah, this goes back about 10-15 years when the AI is still a topic in the classroom subjects, where we were discussing about what are the possible outcomes that would may or may not hinder the you know human generations. But now it's already in the act for everyone to utilize it, while we are still discussing on how we are controlling this AI that reshapes the future. So we are just playing on a thin slide of blade, like it can goes either ways, and everybody feels the same when it comes to how this would reshape the world. But I believe we are already there in discussing how these things will reshape our world. So yeah, that's pretty much about how we can reshape this AI. And yeah, the conversation should go on while we explore the possibilities of the AI. And yeah, and thanks for the opportunity, and it's a pleasure talking to you guys. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Yes, sir. Oh, yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir, for your insight on responsible AI. Thank you for exploring the principles of responsible AI, transparency, gaps in ethics, its accountability, and its effect, global effect, and
Yes,
how it can be beneficial for human beings, and how empathetical evolution we are going to have in futures by this responsible AI. Thank you so much for your session. I
thank you.
would like to thank you on behalf of International Institute of Information Technology and IEEE PuneCon. Yes,
Thank
thank
you.
you, sir. Thank you so
Thank you very
much.
much.